First off, what is a CMF? CMF stands for Collectible Minifigure Series. It's a set of 12 individual figures you'd usually find near the checkout section of your local Target. What's great about these figures is that they give you characters that don't appear in regular LEGO sets. For example, in the Marvel CMF, we got characters from the Disney Plus shows that never had full sets. And for a show like Ninjago, a CMF would be awesome. There's so many side characters that haven't been made into minifigures yet, and since Ninjago hasn't technically gotten a proper CMF before, the 15th anniversary would be the perfect time to do one. Now, technically, Ninjago did get a CMF back in 2017, but it was for the LEGO Ninjago movie, and the problem with that one was, A, none of the figures were that important. We got stuff like N-Pop Girl instead of core characters like Dr.Julien or the Commissioner. B, the overall quality was kind of lackluster. Some figures like this one just reused the existing movie Lloyd minifigure with a single new print. But nowadays, CMFs only include 12 figures instead of 20, which means LEGO can actually put in more budget into each minifigure. Just look at the new Moon Knight minifigure. New torso and leg printing, dual molded legs, arm printing, and even side leg printing. With that kind of quality, $5 for a figure is totally justified. Now,
and make sure to hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, the newly upgraded brick separator man will come in and destroy all your LEGO sets. So actually, we're trying to hit 20k, so make sure to hit that subscribe button.
In this video, I'm taking a bit of a different approach. Normally, I focus just on the final product, like the finished sets or minifigs, but for this one, I want to show more of the process behind it because I think that'll make the video a lot more interesting. That being said, I've done absolutely nothing so far, so let's get into it. First things first, we need to figure out who's going to be in this CMF. Since this is the 15th anniversary CMF, I want to focus exclusively on older characters. That means no Arin, Sora, wouldnfyre, or Frack, or really nothing from Dragon's Rising. I already make a lot of Dragon's Rising content on this channel, so if you're hoping to see a specific character from that series, I'll probably cover them down the line anyway. Since we have 12 slots, we've got to choose carefully. For the first 6 slots, I want to choose Ninja minifigures that we haven't gotten before, and for the last 6 slots, I want to choose minifigures that we haven't gotten variants of already. And so for the first minifigure, I'm going to be starting off with Monstrosity Kai. I know I said I wouldn't include new stuff, but realistically, LEGO's probably never going to make a proper Monstrosity Kai minifigure. In the Kai's Fire Knight mech set, the Kai figure we got was actually based on the Master Lloyd minifigure, and apparently LEGO thought that Molder fans would like this minifigure a lot more, and it's not bad, but in my opinion, it just wasn't nearly as cool as Monstrosity Kai. In fact, the voice actor for Kai, Vincent Tong, actually said he wanted to see a Monstrosity Kai figure.
They're missing out on this amazing minifig that people would love, and I think there'd be like amazing minifigs that we would love to buy.
Which, by the way, I'm actually going to be at Comic-Con this week, and guess who else is going to be there? Yup, Vincent Tong. So let's just say I might have a chance to show him this custom minifigure in person. Making this minifigure was a lot harder than expected because the design kept changing from poster to poster to poster.
Wait, why is he wearing his Day of the Departed suit now?
So I decided to rewatch this episode, and yeah, I finally figured out why LEGO probably never made the suit. The actual in-show design is just half red, half black, straight down the middle. That's it. No detailing on the torso, no nothing. So I took a few creative liberties based on the poster versions, and I added a little bit of his inner shirt to the top of the torso to make it pop. For the back print, I layered a bit more red and black, added 2 side bags, a Kai symbol, and part of his furry cape for texture. As for the legs, the show version did include some white wrappings and a bit of armor, but it still felt kind of plain. So I added a season 8 skirt piece that Nya wore, gave it some more custom printing, and boom, way cooler, way more 3D. For the arm printing, I added some armor, and for the head, I went back and added a fully black base and sharp white eyes. The cape is a regular LEGO cloth cape, and for the headgear, in the show, he wears both a headband and a hat that he finds. Of all LEGO pieces, the one that matches this best is actually the Rocks hat that was introduced this year. And with that, the minifigure is complete. Accessories time. Now in the show, he didn't really use a lot of gear, mostly just a standard katana, but that is kind of underwhelming for a CMF tier minifigure. So I gave him 2 accessories. First, a brand new fire sword attachment which slips right over the katana and gives it a more powerful dramatic effect. Second, his tracker, which I made using a custom print on a 1x1 set tile. Now that the figure is done, it is time for Comic-Con. The event was so much fun, tons of cool LEGO statues, new sets, and even the part 2 trailer, which was on display early. But more importantly, it was time.
I really wanted to show you. I know in the Garbage Arc interview you said that you really wanted Monstrosity Kai figure, so I just made one. I really wanted to show it to you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You saw the interview?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really fun, actually.
Yeah.
You should definitely do a few more of those. Those were like,
I know, right?
It's amazing. No, like,
thanks.
just
What's
hear
your
more
name?
about it. My name's Aditya.
Aditya?
Yeah.
Aditya, Vincent.
Yeah.
Very good to meet you.
So if you want to see the pictures I showed him, these are that. We also showed him a custom physical mock-up which he signed.
I think this minifigure is the perfect way to celebrate Kai's legacy, and the fact that Vincent loved it, yeah, that made everything worth it. Also, I got this awesome poster, a poster book, and even got the wouldfyre minifigure and a poly bag signed.
And I was able to go to the panel and ask some questions.
So, are the ninjas still in contact with their parents after the merge?
Yeah, my dad lives with me.
Have you ever wanted a UCS Ninjago monastery with accurate rooms inside it? Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you. I just put up my UCS monastery on Lego Ideas, and I need your support to make it a real Lego set. So in order to vote, go to the link in the description or bit.ly/Ninjago monastery. Go ahead and create an account. It takes only 30 seconds and you got a support. A whopping 3,000 people have supported in just a few days time. Your support matters too. Make sure to share it with friends and get it out there. Let's show Lego how big the Ninjago community is.
For our next minifigure, I want to make Digi Zane. In the LEGO Ninjago 2020 Prime Empire wave, we got ninja suits for every single one of the ninja except Zane. Now canonically, this happened because Zane didn't actually enter Prime Empire, he became a detective instead. But for most people trying to complete the Digi Ninja collection, there is just an empty spot where Zane should be. The only time a Digi Zane minifigure was ever actually made was in a LEGO Ninjago magazine. So to make the torso and legs of this custom minifigure, I followed the same general design as the existing Digi suits. Now in the magazine render, Zane has a yellow face instead of his usual silver one, and comes with gray armor instead of white. So I made my own custom smiling yellow face and gave him a Digimask face on the other side. Now the hardest part of this minifigure was the accessory. Every single one of the Ninjago Digi suits uses a game controller as part of their weapon. For example, Lloyd has a controller with a light green sword on top of it, and Jay has a controller with a light green flail on top of it. But both of Zane's signature weapons, that being shurikens and a bow and arrow, can't really work a controller into either. You definitely can't fit a controller into shurikens, and I don't think a bow and arrow would look good either. It just end up being weird. So instead, I decided to give him a more general weapon by attaching two sides in the front and back of his game controller. And lastly, I also included the peach hairpiece that he wore in Crystallized as part of his human cloak disguise. And that finalizes our second CMF minifigure. Speaking of Zane, we can't talk about him without mentioning his dad. Our next minifigure is the one and only Dr.Julien. Dr.Julien was such a crucial character in the early seasons of Ninjago. He literally helped the ninja win the final battle in season 2. He's Zane's creator, a genius inventor, and honestly deserves way more recognition. To make him, I started by designing a classic lab coat, complete with a few extra pockets. I also gave him side leg printing and finished off the look with some sleek black shoes. For his face, I made two expressions, one with a kind, gentle smile, and the other with a little bit more perplexed face. But hey, we're not done with the Julien family just yet. One character that we never got a proper figure of is Zane's Falcon. Sure, there was a version back in this 2014 Zane Copter set, but that thing was just a blank black bird with zero detail. So I fixed that. I took the LEGO Dreams 2024 Raven piece and recolored it and added some custom printing to finally give Zane's Falcon the upgrade it deserved for over a decade.
And that is it for our Dr. Julien minifigure.
If you like to do stop motion animation or like to voice act, we have the perfect Discord server for you. Not only does everyone give each other a bunch of animation tips and mecha bricks tips, we also post these cool collabs that you might have seen. So make sure to hit that link in the description to join our community.
For the fourth minifigure on this list, I want to pull away from the ninja team and start focusing on some other side characters who have played really important roles, and one of those characters is Dareth. In Crystallized, Dareth took on a brand new business venture, becoming a lawyer, and since he's an absolutely awesome lawyer, he definitely deserves to become a minifigure. So to build Dareth's lawyer figure, I took a bunch of reference images from the show and started sketching out his general schematic. To make this minifigure, I gave him a custom torso, an awesome striped tie, and yes, some chest hair. To complete his ultimate lawyer outfit, I gave him brown pants and some black shoes. For his head, I gave him a happy face, and on the other side, a happier face. And finally, to finish this minifigure off, I gave Dareth a business card, because what kind of lawyer doesn't have one? Now, every good lawyer needs a client. So for Dareth's current case, we got FugiDove. FugiDove has quietly become one of the most popular background characters in Ninjago ever since his debut in Season 11, Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu. He pops up all the time, and honestly, he's kind of become the coolest villain in the show. Like, come on, this guy feeds the pigeons. But making this minifigure, yeah, that's kind of hard. See, he's got this weird wing looking thing on top of his goggles, and so to do that, I ended up molding the wing part directly into the goggles to get that accurate silhouette. For the torso, I started with a standard FugiDove outfit and added some scratches and dirt to make it feel more worn, just like how it looks in the show. Then I gave him pigeon wings borrowed straight from the Chicken Soup Guy minifigure, and then finally for his accessories, I gave him 2 small pigeons so he can keep feeding them in peace, even while on his run from the law. Now, one of the best Ninjago seasons of all time has to be Possession. The introduction of Moro was amazing. He was such a solid villain, and the whole season had this darker, ghostly vibe that just hit different. But what I really loved was how, at the start of the season, the ninja became salesman for Master Wu's Steeper Wisdom tea business. Honestly, they were kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that one, because their shop was literally located in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, remember those Steeper Wisdom salesman suits? They are super nostalgic and pretty stylish too, so I decided to make this version of Jay for my CMF. To build him, I recreated the original torso design as closely as possible, including his blue belt and undershirt as a nod to Jay's possession suit. I also gave him dual molded arms with some tiny stitch printing just like in the show, and I also gave him 2 smiling expressions because Jay without at least a little goofiness just isn't Jay. Man, I really miss old Jay. Now for accessories, I gave him a blue teapot similar to the Steeper Wisdom logo, and I also gave him a Steeper Wisdom flyer. I matched it to the show as closely as possible. So now you can recreate the iconic
"Why won't you take the flyer? Just take the flyer!"
moment in Lego form.
The nostalgia really comes running back on this one. Jay is finished.
So while Jay is out there handing flyers and grinding away, Lloyd is not. He's still at home sleeping in his pajamas. Yup, we're making Pajama Lloyd as our next minifigure. The ninja first appeared in pajama outfits all the way back in Season 1, and while most people don't remember Lloyd wearing one, he actually did show up in pajamas for a couple episodes. These suits are super nostalgic and really iconic in the early seasons. So for this figure, I took Lloyd's pajama design straight from the show, including the tiny dragon logo on the shirt pocket. This minifigure is fully decked out with side leg printing and even side arm printing with the same green and white stripes that run across his whole outfit. At the bottom of the leg piece, you can actually see his yellow foot peeking out at the bottom, just like it does in the show. He comes with 2 faces, one being determined and the other being asleep. And yeah, that's it for our Pajama Lloyd minifigure. Now for our next minifigure, I want to highlight a lesser known character, someone who's actually a friend of Lloyd's, Kataru. If you don't remember Kataru, he's actually Akita's brother from Season 11. In the Ice chapter, Lloyd freed him from the Ice Emperor's prison. Kataru makes for a really cool minifigure. For starters, he's got this awesome bear hat on his head, kind of like how Akita has her signature wolf hood. And just like how Akita can transform into a wolf, Kataru can transform into a bear. For this minifigure, I kept his outfit accurate to the show, and it's nearly identical to Akita's, but with one major change. He's got a bear icon instead of a wolf on his medallion, and he is also wearing a robe. I gave this minifigure a custom face print and dual molded arms, and my favorite part has to be that bear hat. The hat is actually dual molded with his hairpiece, and it even has bear printing on it. No joke, this might be one of my favorite figures in this entire series so far. Alright, for the next minifigure, we've got the Elemental Master of Earth, Cole. Now, one suit that Cole really deserves is his golden suit from Season 3. When the ninja entered the Digiverse, they all got these slick golden suits powered by Lloyd's elemental energy. And while we've gotten golden suits for Zane and Kai through Bricktober packs and other minifig releases, we still haven't gotten a proper golden Cole. In the show, his design is a little plain, not a ton of detail, so it definitely needed a bit of glow up for CMF treatment. So for this version, I started by designing an accurate custom torso based on the show. Then I gave him 2 new face prints, one with a big cheerful grin and another with a more subtle smile. His legs have brand new printing, kind of inspired by the golden Kai figure, with gold detailing and armor textures. I also designed a specialized golden mask just for Cole. It's a brand new color that never actually appeared in Ninjago before. And to top it all off, I also gave him a custom built hammer with literal lava flowing out from the top. This definitely helps him stand out on the shelf.
And yeah, I actually really do like how this figure came out as a whole.
And speaking of Cole, let's talk about one of his friends, a member of the Upply better known as Plundar.
You might remember Plundar from season 13. He was one of the quirky guys from the Upply trio alongside Fungus and Corgan. To make his minifigure, I dug through a bunch of references including images from the show and even the magazine exclusive version of the figure. His torso print is pretty simple. He's mostly wearing a sling bag with a few scraps of cloth and straps layered over him. For the legs, I gave him a muddy wore down jeans piece, lots of brown printing, rips, and a dirt to match how he looks in the show. His arms also have mud stains and scuffs, with some nice detail in the printing to show wear and tear. As for accessories, I had some fun with this one. I gave him 2 dice, one standard 6-sided die, and one other one with way more sides, just like the ones he used in Shintaro. I gave him his show-accurate hairpiece, and finally, he's carrying a bag of sparkly diamonds. Clearly stuff, you know, he plundered from somewhere. Classic Plundar. Alright, moving on, we've got a minifigure that is a bit more elegant, Yukata Nya. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, this is Nya in her dance robe, the one that she wore in season 12 when she danced with Jay. Now let me tell you, this one was super hard to recreate, mostly because of how many tiny little roses were there on the design. I spent forever trying to get this print just right. Luckily, the leg printing was a lot easier. She's just wearing a couple slippers with a couple of stripes down the side of one of her legs. For the face, I gave her a custom dual-sided head with 2 smiling expressions, one soft and one a little bit more confident. And finally, as a little bonus accessory, I gave her the Jay and Nya yin-yang tile, as it's such an important part of the relationship that it needs to be a piece.
And yeah, this would be the final Nya minifigure.
And to wrap things up, I want to include one of the creepiest and coolest things that we saw in Crystallized, a crystal zombie. Specifically the crystallized Teal Ninja. And honestly, this one might be one of the coolest figures in this entire wave. I started off by making a base Teal Ninja print and then layered in a bunch of crystal details. In the show, the Teal Ninja had a dual molded arm, so I recreated that here and made one of the arms a little bit more trans pink to show the corruption spreading. For the legs, I used a black and trans pink dual mold, then added some torn fabric detailing to make it look like his clothes were getting shredded by the crystal infection as it takes over. And for his face, I made it completely pink with red eyes, just like in the show. As for accessories, I gave him a custom version of the crystallized sword he wields, and he also comes with a trans pink master chicken, complete with the glowing pink eyes, making this probably one of the coolest figs in the lot.
And this is the final render for the crystallized Teal Ninja. And lastly, before we end off this video, I have something really cool to show you, a box art for this LEGO CMF. We have this box art made by my friend Ryu. It looks absolutely amazing. You have to go check this guy out. And yeah, that would be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.